Hello and welcome back to English Podcast to Learn English. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Emma. It's great to be with you all again. So, Jack, today we're tackling a topic that I think literally everyone can relate to.
Oh, I have a feeling I know what this is, and I'm probably guilty of it even this morning. We are talking about procrastination, aren't we?
You got it. Procrastination. That little voice that says, "I'll do it later." Why do we do it? Is it just laziness, or is there something, I don't know, deeper going on?
That's the big question, right? Because we all know it feels bad. Nobody enjoys the stress of a last-minute deadline, but we keep doing it. For me, it was paying a bill this morning. I knew I had to do it. It was sitting right there on my desk, but I just checked my email instead.
Oh, classic. Mine is laundry, the pile of clean clothes that just needs to be folded. It's not even hard, but it can sit there for days. It's like my brain just finds 100 other more important things to do, like organizing my spice rack.
Right, the suddenly urgent but completely unnecessary tasks. So I think we should start there. Most people think procrastination is just a time management problem or a character flaw, that you're just lazy. But the research actually points somewhere else entirely.
Yeah, it's not about avoiding the work, it's about avoiding the negative feelings associated with the work.
Exactly. Feelings like boredom, anxiety, insecurity, frustration, self-doubt.
Dread, just that feeling of, I don't wanna.
Yes, that's a huge one. So it's really an emotional regulation problem, not a time management one. Your brain is essentially trying to protect you from those bad feelings.
Okay, so let's break that down. You have a big, important project for work. You sit down to start, and immediately you feel overwhelmed, anxious. Maybe you're worried you won't do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
So, your brain, specifically the limbic system, which is kind of the emotional, impulsive part of your brain, it freaks out. It sees that anxiety as a threat.
The old fight or flight response.
Totally. And its immediate solution is, let's do something else, something that feels good right now. And so you pick up your phone and scroll through social media.
And it works. Instantly, the anxiety about the project is gone. You get a little dopamine hit from that cute cat video and you feel better. The problem is you've just rewarded your brain for avoiding the task.
Exactly. You've created a procrastination loop. Task triggers bad feelings, you switch to a pleasant activity, you feel relief, and so you learn that avoidance is a good strategy, even though, logically, it's a terrible long-term strategy.
It's like a battle in your head, isn't it? Between the limbic system that wants instant gratification and the prefrontal cortex, which is the logical, long-term planning part of your brain. And when you're stressed or anxious, the limbic system often wins.
It's so true. And what's interesting is that this explains why telling a procrastinator to just do it is, it's pretty much useless.
Right, because it doesn't solve the underlying emotional issue. The person already knows they should do it. They just can't handle the negative feelings that come with it in that moment.
So, do you think there are, different flavors of procrastination? I feel like my laundry avoidance is different from someone who avoids, say, applying for jobs.
Oh, for sure. Psychologists have actually identified a few common types of procrastinators. It's fascinating. The first one is the perfectionist.
Ooh, I think I might be this one. Tell me more.
The perfectionist puts things off because they're afraid their work won't be, perfect. They have such high standards that the fear of not meeting them is paralyzing. So it's easier to not start at all than to start and produce something that's flawed.
That's me. That is 100% me. I'll spend ages planning and researching because that feels productive, but actually starting the writing, that's the scary part.
Then there's the thrill seeker. This is the person who claims they work best under pressure. They wait until the last possible second because the adrenaline rush of a looming deadline actually motivates them. They crave that excitement.
My brother is definitely a thrill seeker. It stresses me out just watching him, but he somehow always pulls it off.
Another type is the worrier. They put things off because they're afraid of change or making a decision. They avoid tasks that might push them out of their comfort zone. So they want to apply for that new job or make that important phone call because what if something bad happens?
That makes sense. The uncertainty is the scary part for them.
And finally, there's the overwhelmed. This is someone who has so much to do that they just shut down. The to do list is so long that they don't know where to start, so they end up doing nothing at all.
I've definitely been there. It's a kind of analysis paralysis. You spend all your energy thinking about all the things you have to do and have no energy left to actually do them.
Exactly. So I guess the big question is, now that we know why we do it and what kind of procrastinators we might be, what on earth do we do about it? How do we break the cycle?
Okay, so this is the practical part. The first and maybe most important step is self forgiveness.
Self-forgiveness. Interesting. Not discipline?
No, not at all. Studies have shown that people who forgive themselves for procrastinating on one task are actually less likely to procrastinate on the next one. The guilt and shame from procrastinating are negative feelings, which, remember, is what causes procrastination in the first place.
Wow, so beating yourself up about it is literally the worst thing you can do. It just feeds the cycle. That's a revelation actually.
It is, isn't it? So, step one, be kind to yourself. Acknowledge you did it and move on. Okay, so for a more practical tip, my favorite is the 2-minute rule.
I think I've heard of this one. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, you should just do it immediately.
Right, like responding to a quick email, putting your plate in the dishwasher, or taking out the trash. It's about building momentum. Those small wins make you feel productive and can make it easier to start the bigger tasks.
That makes so much sense. For those bigger tasks though, the key is to break them down.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of write research paper, your first step is open a new document. That's it. Your next step is write one sentence. Make the entry point so ridiculously easy that your brain doesn't have a chance to feel anxious about it.
I love that. Lower the barrier to entry. Another thing is to just notice what you're doing. When you find yourself procrastinating, don't just mindlessly do it. Ask yourself, why am I avoiding this? What feeling am I trying to escape?
A little bit of mindfulness. I like that. So instead of just feeling bad, you're being curious about the feeling. That detaches you from it a bit.
Yeah, and maybe you can find a better way to deal with that feeling. If you're bored, maybe you can make the task a game. If you're anxious, maybe you can do some deep breathing exercises before you start.
And one final thing I'd add is to manage your environment. If your phone is your biggest distraction, put it in another room when you need to focus. Make it harder to access your procrastination tools and easier to do the actual work.
That's a great point. Create less friction for the good habits and more friction for the bad ones. And that's especially true with technology, isn't it? Our phones, our laptops, they are perfect procrastination machines. They're designed to give us those little dopamine hits we talked about earlier. Me too. So let's do a quick recap. Procrastination isn't a character flaw, it's an emotional regulation strategy. Our brains are trying to avoid negative feelings. Oh, completely. The endless scroll is the ultimate procrastination tool. I read somewhere that the average person unlocks their phone over 100 times a day. How many of those times is a conscious choice versus just an automatic twitch to avoid a moment of boredom or anxiety?
Right. And to fight it, we need to be kind to ourselves, break tasks into tiny, manageable pieces, and find better ways to cope with those uncomfortable emotions.
Exactly. And it's not just about distraction, it's also about what researchers call choice paralysis or decision fatigue. We have so many options for everything these days: what to watch, what to listen to, what to work on first. Sometimes the sheer number of choices is overwhelming.
Perfect summary. Well, I feel motivated to go fold my laundry now. Or maybe in 5 minutes.
That's a huge one for me. I'll open my email to do one specific thing, and suddenly I see 10 other emails that all seem urgent. My brain just short circuits and suddenly I'm watching videos of squirrels navigating obstacle courses.
I am embarrassingly familiar with those squirrel videos. So, a practical tip for that would be to make your decisions the night before. If you know you need to tackle that email project, write it on a sticky note and put it on your computer. When you sit down in the morning, you don't have to decide what to do, the decision is already made. That's a great, simple strategy. It removes the friction of starting. Another one I like is something called temptation bundling. The idea is you pair something you want to do with something you need to do.
Oh, interesting. So you can only listen to your favorite podcast while you do the dishes, or you can only watch your favorite guilty pleasure TV show while you're on the treadmill.
Exactly. It makes the unpleasant task more appealing because it's paired with a reward. You start to associate folding laundry with catching up on your favorite show, which can actually change your emotional response to the task itself. It's a bit of a brain hack.
That is such a clever trick. And it's not just about bundling, right? It's about setting up a clear reward system for yourself. Not just the relief of finally finishing, but something tangible. Like if I finish this report by 3 p.m., I'm going for a walk and get my favorite coffee.
Yes, and it has to be immediate. The reward needs to be close enough in time to the completed task for your brain to form a positive association. Don't promise yourself a vacation in 6 months for finishing a report today. Your brain needs that more instant feedback. Absolutely. That's the principle of an accountability partner. It's not about having someone to nag you, but about creating a sense of shared commitment. It externalizes the motivation. Suddenly, it's not just about letting yourself down, but also about letting down someone you respect.
It really works. My friend and I started doing this with our weekly exercise goals. We just send a quick text to each other in the morning saying going for a run, and it makes it so much harder to skip it. It's like, I don't want to be the one to break the chain.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful and also very validating. It's nice to know I'm not just lazy.
Me too. It's comforting to know it's a human thing, not a personal failing. The key seems to be noticing why you're doing it, and then using some of these clever tricks to work with your brain instead of against it.
Exactly. It's not about finding more willpower, but about creating better systems. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for listening to English Podcast to Learn English.
We'll be back next time with a new topic. Until then, take care.